So we got to make the case for zero trust adoption, right? It does make it easier. So once it's set up, once the overhead's behind you, makes it easier to provision and enable multi-cloud hybrid access IT security. And why? Because you're baking security into the model itself. It's a more modern approach to spinning up resources. If anyone has any experience with setting something up in Azure or AWS, you'll know that they have role-based access baked into the model. And that's because that's where the industry is going. 92% of the enterprises have a multi-cloud strategy and 82% have a hybrid cloud strategy. That's huge. And we're going to have a poll, I believe, on this too. Get feedback from you guys. Protects work, reduces disruptions, allows for more efficient resource management. Efficient, yes. Once the framework is in place, it actually helps rather than hinders. Reduces security threats and lateral attacks within networks. And this is huge, right? Everyone is rightly so worried about what happens when that initial foothold is gained in a network. And we all have that thought that mental model in our minds of what a network looks like and what a foothold looks like. And being able to move laterally through a network looks entirely different in a zero trust model, which is why it's so attractive, and it's why it's where the industry is going. Because less and less we're going to care about protecting our borders, and more it's going to be about, do I need access to this resource or not? Improves compliance, auditing, and insight into access activity. And when we get to the pillars, it'll become clear as to why that is. But again, it's baked into the model, right? Automations is one of the 8 pillars. And then we have, it dynamically secures connection between user device and resource application, encrypted as well. So you have authentication as well as, so you have confidentiality, integrity, and availability all baked into it. I don't agree with simplifies the work environment, but I think it makes it more efficient.
Yeah, I think to some degree, the last couple of bullet points all kind of tie together in the same way. There's more efficient resource management, largely because you have a lot more insight into the activity and all the different access, which to some degree can help clarify some, maybe less simplify, more just clarification of things in terms of resource management and kind of who can access what and when.
Right.
Because a lot of this comes along with logging and a lot more extensive looks into these things.
Right, exactly. And think about that first time you set up Active Directory versus having a more disparate hodgepodge, if you will, of architecture. It's a very big shift, but once it's in place, there's a lot of things that you can. There's a lot of automation and guarantees that you can rely on to a certain degree. Now you have vulnerabilities that come with Active Directory, which we always talk about. But that is part of what Zero Trust is aiming to help with, to be perfectly honest.